Well, hello there. And who might you be, mister?
I am your reckoning. Your existence is a stain, clown, and I am here to erase it. Your sins echo across realms, and your judgment has come. You stand condemned, creature.
Do you think you frighten me? I am fear.
Pinhead and Pennywise stand among the most iconic supernatural forces in all of horror cinema. Two beings shaped by completely different philosophies of fear, each leaving generations of audiences terrified in their wake. But what happens when terror meets torment? When a cosmic predator collides with the high priest of pain? If these two ever crossed paths, who would win? In this video, we will analyze both characters, looking at their unique strengths and abilities before pitting them against each other in a hypothetical battle to determine who would most likely come out on top. Make sure to stick around until the end of the video, where we reveal which of these nightmares would ultimately claim victory. On one side stands Pinhead. Once the human Elliot Spencer, Pinhead has existed in his Cenobite form for over a century, having been transformed sometime in the early 1900s. Standing at an imposing 6 feet 5 inches, with his weight unknown and likely irrelevant to his altered physiology, Pinhead is a being shaped by order, ritual, and cosmic authority. He can summon chains tipped with hooks from thin air, manipulate matter, warp space, teleport, open dimensional gateways, and reshape environments into the tortured geometry of the Cenobite realm. He is resistant, if not fully immune, to physical damage and cannot be intimidated or manipulated. On the other side is Pennywise, often manifesting as the dancing clown. He is the earthly avatar of an ancient being billions of years old, a cosmic predator originating from a dimension beyond comprehension. In his clown form, he typically stands around 6 feet 3 inches to 6 feet 4 inches and is estimated to weigh about 180 pounds, though his true mass and form defy physical measurement. Pennywise thrives on fear, gaining power from the terror he instills in his victims. His abilities include shape-shifting, creating illusions, manipulating perceptions, warping local reality, and revealing the deadlights, his true form capable of inducing madness at a glance. While capable of brutal physical attacks, Pennywise's true strength lies in psychological domination, bending the world into a nightmare landscape where he dictates the rules, at least when preying on mortals. Pinhead and Pennywise both debuted in eras of horror that reshaped the genre. Pinhead first appeared in Hellraiser, 1987, adapted from Clive Barker's The Hellbound Heart, introducing audiences to a villain unlike any mainstream slasher. He wasn't a masked murderer or a feral creature. He was calm, articulate, philosophical, and bound by ritual. His mix of sadomasochistic mysticism and interdimensional lore instantly set him apart. Pennywise, meanwhile, first emerged in Stephen King's novel, It, and became iconic through Tim Curry's 1990 miniseries portrayal and later Bill Skarsgård's 2017 film adaptation. The novel became a cultural milestone as it blended cosmic horror with deeply human fears, turning childhood terror into an epic psychological threat. The 1990 miniseries, with Tim Curry's unforgettable performance as Pennywise, cemented the clown as one of horror's most iconic villains, influencing an entire generation's fear of clowns and shaping how horror explored trauma, memory, and the loss of innocence. Pennywise's blend of cosmic terror and childlike whimsy made him one of horror's most unsettling antagonists, a creature that fed not merely on flesh, but on the emotional landscape of fear itself. Their arrivals marked two different schools of horror, one rooted in dark theology and metaphysical judgment, the other in predatory, chaotic, nightmare logic. Pinhead and Pennywise meet not merely as monsters, but as embodiments of two opposing cosmic philosophies. Understanding their strengths requires understanding how those strengths collide when forced into direct confrontation. Pinhead, once the human Elliot Spencer, rose to become a Cenobite by seeking sensation beyond the limits of mortal experience. In becoming Pinhead, he became bound to the Order of the Gash, an interdimensional hierarchy that governs pain, judgment, and consequence with ritualistic precision. His powers reflect that structure. Against Pennywise, these abilities give Pinhead significant tactical advantages. His chains can bypass conventional physical durability, striking from any angle. His calm, disciplined focus prevents Pennywise from exploiting the fear-based psychological manipulation he relies on. And perhaps most importantly, Pinhead's near immunity to physical harm means Pennywise's brute force shape-shifting attacks, teeth, claws, monstrous forms, would do little against him unless backed by deeper cosmic power.
You feast upon the innocent. You twist the fear of children into sustenance. You corrupt the natural order with illusion and deceit. And now, your judgment is inevitable.
Pennywise, however, is no simple predator. As an eldritch entity older than human civilization, his clown form is merely a projection, a lure. His true power lies in shape-shifting, illusion crafting, mind manipulation, and reality distortion. Against most opponents, Pennywise weakens them psychologically before killing them physically. Yet Pinhead is an anomaly. He feels no fear, no shame, no emotional vulnerability for Pennywise to exploit. This neutralizes Pennywise's primary advantage almost instantly.
Have you come here to lecture me? I was hoping we could play.
Still, Pennywise has more than fear at his disposal. His ability to distort space and matter could potentially counter Pinhead's chains or disrupt the structure of the room around them. He could attack from angles outside normal perception, shift into cosmic forms that operate beyond humanoid anatomy, or attempt to overwhelm Pinhead with raw interdimensional presence. Yet Pennywise has weaknesses Pinhead is uniquely suited to exploit. Pennywise is bound by cycles of hunger and hibernation. Pinhead is not. Pennywise's illusions depend on belief. Pinhead is governed only by function, and Pennywise's arrogance, his habit of playing with his food, is a fatal contrast to Pinhead's absolute efficiency. Conversely, Pinhead's one limitation is his adherence to rules. He typically acts where the puzzle box grants him authority. Pennywise, being outside that system, might force Pinhead to exert power in ways that strain those boundaries. Their clash becomes a confrontation between chaos and order, illusion and certainty, fear and inevitability, each power challenging, countering, or bypassing the other in ways no ordinary foe ever could. And now, let's break down how a fight between Pinhead and Pennywise might unfold, and who would ultimately come out on top. We regularly post videos just like this, pitting iconic movie characters against each other and explaining who would win. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss one of our epic showdowns. And if you'd like to support the channel, consider becoming a member. Your name will appear in the credits of future videos, along with access to other exclusive perks. Now back to the story, where we'll finally discover who wins, Pinhead or Pennywise. Inside an abandoned house on the outskirts of Derry, Pinhead and Pennywise stand locked in a silent standoff, tension crackling in the air as the two monsters size each other up. Pennywise attempts his usual games first, attempting to intimidate the stranger, but none of it draws even the slightest reaction. The clown's expression twitches in irritation. He lunges forward, contorting his body into a twisted shape meant to terrify, teeth extending, limbs snapping, his face splitting open into rows of snarling fangs. Still, Pinhead does not flinch.
Your judgment is inevitable. You cannot escape your suffering.
Instead, with a slow, deliberate motion, Pinhead raises his hand. Chains burst from the shadows like serpents of steel, hooks glinting in the dim light. They slice through the air, wrapping around Pennywise's limbs and torso before the clown can fully register what he's facing. Pennywise shrieks, not in fear, but in surprise, his form flickering between shapes as he tries to break free. He shifts into the giant spider-like creature from the sewers, then into a monstrous, bloated parody of his own clown form. and light meant to overwhelm the senses. But the chains tighten, forcing him into a single shape, restraining him in a way he's never experienced. The air distorts as Pennywise fights back, the room bending and warping under the weight of his illusions. Walls stretch like rubber, floors ripple, light bulges and contracts as he tries to overwhelm Pinhead with a barrage of fear. But fear has no purchase here. Pinhead is not a creature of terror. He neither feeds on nor reacts to it. He steps forward with the calm precision of a priest performing a sacred rite, his voice echoing with cold authority.
Your feast ends here, devourer of children. You mistook fear for power. In my domain, there is only judgment, and the debt you have long avoided. Your horrors end, clown, and your suffering begins.
Pennywise attempts to unleash the Deadlights, his true eldritch form, hoping to fracture Pinhead's mind or pull him into madness. But the Cenobite does not look away, and the Deadlights flicker uselessly against a being who has long since abandoned sanity. Pennywise's confidence collapses. The illusions falter. The room returns to its rotted, broken state, and for the first time in centuries, the clown realizes he is not the apex predator in the room. Pinhead's chains tighten further, dragging Pennywise toward the shimmering tear in reality behind him. With one final pull, the Cenobite drags Pennywise into the cold abyss of his dimension, into the labyrinth of the Cenobites, where fear is meaningless and suffering is absolute. The tear snaps shut with a final metallic crack, and the house falls silent, the air still humming with the remnants of dimensional rupture. In the end, Pennywise loses for one simple reason. His power comes from fear. He thrives on terror, illusion, and manipulation, tools that crumble against a being who cannot be frightened, deceived, or psychologically influenced. Pennywise meets his limits when faced with something he cannot intimidate or control. And in a clash between a cosmic predator and an interdimensional judge, it is the judge who prevails.